Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Julie DiMatteo, the Paper Pixie, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this great gift bag, sized to fit a set of A2 cards. I love coming up with little gift bags like this. So in this gift bag, I've got 6 cards and 6 envelopes, all using products from the Hues of Happiness suite. I love the way that this works out. Really sweet little handles here on the gift bag, and you could actually fit more than 6 cards in there as well. It's a great project to have in your stash to give a set of gift cards to a loved one. So let me show you how easy this is to make. I'm starting with a 12 by 12 piece of the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. And quick tip, you can use this 12 by 12 to not only make the gift bag, but also the cards. If you cut off a strip from the top that's 3 3/4 inches tall, this piece is 3 3/4 by 12. If you cut it into 6 2-inch strips, you can use that to create a set of 6 cards to go in the gift bag. So starting with a piece of the Designer Series paper that measures 8 1/4 by 12 inches, along the 12-inch side, we're going to score this at 4 1/2, 5 3/4, 10 1/4, and 11 1/2. I'm going to rotate it clockwise, and we're going to score this at 1 1/4. Then I'm going to flip this paper from right to left, and then we're going to score this at 1 inch, and that's going to give us that little 1-inch section at the top of the gift bag. I'm going to bring in the template here for reference. Now before we do the folding and burnishing, I want to come in and do these little miter cuts here on the top. That's going to help doing that first. And again, it's easier for me to see the score lines on the back. So I'm just going to come in on either side of the score line at the top here. Let's see if I can get this in the screen. And I'm going to miter cut on either side of this score line right here. I know this is hard to see on camera, as well as the top here. So we've kind of got that notched out piece started, because what we're going to do is fold and burnish with this section folded back. So just a quick tip there to do that first. Next, we're going to fold and burnish on all the score lines. So I'm going to start by folding backwards on this top score line. That was that 1-inch score line, and burnish. It's important to do that one first, because the rest of the folding and burnishing needs to occur with that folded back. So now I'm going to go ahead and fold on those vertical score lines and burnish. Again, we're sort of training the paper to fold there. Again, this is 2 layers. And just work your way down. And then finally we've got this bottom, like so. Now we're going to come in along the bottom, and again, for some reason it's easier for me to see the score lines on the back side. We're going to cut up each of the vertical score lines, stopping at that first horizontal score line. This lower rectangle corner I'm going to go ahead and remove, and also do a slight miter cut there, right along the side. I'm going to continue to cut up each of the vertical score lines. And now these 1 1/4 inch squares, we want to come in and miter cut those as well. So I'm going to fold up the big sections to get those out of the way, isolating those tabs, and then I'll come in and miter cut. All right, we finished that. Now before we put this together, we're going to do some work here on the top so that we can put our handles on. This part's completely optional, but I'm going to come in and just make a couple of pencil marks so that I can hole punch for the handles. About 1 1/4 inches in from each side of those 2 score lines. So we're at 1 1/4 and then 3 1/4. And I'm going to come down here, same thing, sort of lining up the ruler between those, the score line and the edge, and we'll do again 1 1/4, 3 1/4. And these are just tiny little pencil marks. You can erase them if you need to. And then I'm just going to bring in, I've got a hole punch here, and go ahead and punch those holes. I'm going about 1/2 inch in, and again we made those 1 1/4 inch pencil marks, like so. All right, now before we tie the bows, we're going to do some quick stamping. We're going to use the Happiness Abound stamp set and the sentiment, sending many thanks for all you do. Before we stamp, I want to go ahead and punch a banner end here using the Banner's Pick-a-Punch. This piece of basic white measures 1 inch by 4 1/2 inches. I'm going to feed that into the punch. And I always like to turn it upside down as well and make sure that that's centered on the banner ends, like so. Now we'll go ahead and stamp our sentiment. Now I want to line this up here, so I'm going to go ahead and place that over the hole, and then we're going to go ahead and punch. So look through the back end here and punch, and that little tag's just going to hang right there, like so. I'm using the Pool Party sheer ribbon, and I'm going to go ahead and feed that through the right hole. through the front and then back through the back on the left hole. We're going to do one handle at a time here. You want to have enough of a tail to tie this bow, so just pull out as much as you need to. And then here's a quick tip my mom Pixie taught me. She loved to tie her bows uniformly. I'm using the H block, which is what I use to stamp the sentiment, and I'm just going to place that in between the two score lines. This is about 4.5 inches wide, which is the width of the bag, and we're actually going to use that to tie our little bow here. Now, if you need to pull the tails out a little bit more, go ahead and do that. Got my reverse tweezers here to help me tie the bow, but by using this block, we're going to make sure that the two handles are the same length. So we're going to just go ahead and tie the bow right around the block. This will really help you get some uniform handles here. Just a quick tip, I know there's many other ways that you can add handles to gift bags. Wanted to show you something different. Using my reverse tweezers, I'm going to hold that knot there like a third hand so I can come in and tie the bow. Now keeping the block there, you go ahead and zhuzh your bow here. And you'll want to make sure to pull that bow knot tightly. All right, just slide the block out. We got one handle done. We're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. And go ahead and tie a bow. All right, go ahead and slide out the block. And we'll fix those handles in just a moment. Let's go ahead and put the bag together. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over. Kind of move your little handles out of the way here. So the first thing we're going to do is fold on the second score line from the left. And I'm going to put liquid glue right along this tab. So liquid glue along the long tab. And then some liquid glue right here on top of the short tab. I don't want to press those two together yet. To close this bag, I'm going to fold over from the first score line on the right, and we're going to sort of alternate this. So we've got the long tab on the left, on the right, and then we're going to tuck that little short tab underneath. Okay, so it's sort of an accordion style. So left, right, left, right. And then we want to go ahead, because we've got liquid glue, get this all lined up here, pressing this bag as flat as we can. The last thing will be this piece at the top. Just kind of slide that into place and press and adhere, like so. Okay, now again, don't worry about those handles yet. Let's go ahead and finish off the bottom of the bag. I'm going to tuck in those two tabs, put liquid glue on them. This is our front with the tag, so I'm going to go ahead and put liquid glue on that front flap. Then what we can do is fold the back flap down first, then the front flap. And because we're using liquid glue here, I can go ahead and slide that into place. Flip this open here. I'm gonna grab my set of cards and put those in the gift bag. Again, 6 cards, 6 envelopes, but you've got space for more. And now what we're gonna do is pull these handles through. And then you're gonna have that adorable little bow on the front and 2 handles that are exactly the same length. One last embellishment here, I'm going to take a rhinestone basic jewel and just pop that on our tag here. It's a clean and simple gift bag with those adorable bows to create the handles. Love the way this turned out. This is definitely going to be a project that I'm going to use over and over again to give a set of cards to a friend as a gift. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss my next video. If you're interested in purchasing any of the Stampin' Up! Products I used today, they'll be linked in the description. And I'll also include a link to my detailed blog post with all project measurements, details, and a picture of the template for reference. I'd love to have you come visit me at thepaperpixie.com, where I post projects to inspire you. And if you don't want to miss a thing, you can subscribe to receive blog updates via email, and you'll receive an email each time I publish a new post. If you give this project a try, I'd love to see what you made, so feel free to share it on social media with the hashtag #PaperPixie, and I'll be sure to check it out. Thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day. Take care. Bye.